Good day, viewers. You are welcome to this class. Here we want to conclude the solution to Waec 2023 objective question. Starting from where we stopped, question number 41 says, a number is selected at random from 40 to 50 inclusive. Find the probability that the number is prime. Before we look at the solution, please, if you are joining us for the first time, subscribe to this channel and turn the notification bell on. And also do well to listen to the end so that you can gain one or two things from this video. And if you have any comments, you can put it in the comments button down, and you can also click on the like button. It means a lot to us. Thank you. Now we have a number is selected at random from 40 to 50 inclusive. Here it means that we have numbers from 40 to 50. So when we list the numbers, we have 40, we have 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, then 50. And what the question is telling us here is that we should find the probability that the number is prime. So if a number is selected, what is the probability that the number is prime? So when we look at these numbers, we now note the prime numbers there. So here now, what are the prime numbers that we have here? 41 is a prime number. That is, prime number is number that has only two factors, 1 and itself. 1 and itself. No any other thing can divide completely. So we have 41, we have 43 as well, 47 here. We have those prime numbers. Then the probability of getting a prime number now will now be, how many prime numbers did we count? We count 3 prime numbers. Then probability there will now be number that we count, which is 3, divided by the total number that we write 1, 2, that's 11 in total now. So that's 11, 3 over 11. And here the correct option here is option A. Then the next number 42, we are to use this diagram to answer question 42. And from here now, answering question 42 with this diagram, the question 42 says, if the fail mark was 4, what is the probability that a student selected at random pass? Now the fail mark is 4. These are the marks here. These are the marks. If the fail mark is 4, it means that anything more than 4 above, like 5, 6, 7, 8 are passed mark. Now the question now says, find the probability that a student selected at random passed. Now we call this one experimental probability, and experimental probability is given as probability of an event E will be given as frequency of the event over the total number of the frequency, that is summation F. And in this case now, we need to know the number of students in the class. That's the frequency. Now by the time we count the number of students in the class, from people that score 1 here, there are 3 in number. When you trace it, you discover that there are 3. In between, one is those people that score 1, they are in between 2 and 4 there. That means there are 3 in number. So 3 plus people that score 2, 6. 3 plus 6, we have that. Then people that score 3, they are 9 now. If you can see that it's in between that. So when we add it, 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus people that score 4 now are 1. People that score 5 are 12. People that score 6 are 7. People that score 7 are 5. People that score 8 10. So by the time we add all the numbers of the students together, discover that the total number of students there is 53. When we sum it together, we discover that we have a total of 53 students. So summation F here is 53. Then the event now, we need to know the number of students in the event, frequency of the event, that is, people that passed. That means from 5 upward. Frequency is 5 here now. I mean, the pass mark is 5 upward now. So by the time we add the frequency of 5 upward together, for the 5 we have 12 here. For 6 we have 7. That's 12 plus 7. Then plus, for 7 we have 5 plus 5. Then we have plus 10. By the time we add it, we have 34. So that means probability of student passing now, people that pass here now, will then give us 34 over 53. So here we have 34 over 53 now. And by the time we put it in decimal, this will give us 0.64, which is option A here. 0.64. That's question number 42. And also question number 43 says, what percentage of the students score at most 5 marks? What percentage of the students scored at most 5 marks? At most 5 marks means that it doesn't pass 5 marks. It might be lower. It might be lower than 5 marks. But once you get to 5, you stop. At most 5 marks. So we now say, what is the percentage of students? So frequency of those people that score below 5 and up to 5, that's at most 5, over the total frequency times 100%. Here now, we have, for people scoring 1, that's 3 plus, people scoring 2, that's 6, people scoring 3 plus 9, people scoring 4 plus 1, people scoring 5 now plus 12. And all together there we have 31 when we add those frequencies together. So those are the people that score at most 5, that is 5 downward. So we now have 31, we have them as 31. So percentage of them now will now be 31 over the number of students in the class, that's 53. We now multiply it by 100%. And from here, when we solve this one now with our calculator, we are going to get 58.5%, which is our option B here. And number 44 says, how many students score at least 3 marks? How many students score at least 3 marks? At least 3 marks here means that 3 marks and above. At least 3 marks means 3 marks and above. And what they just asked us is, how many students score at least 3 marks? So we now add from 3 marks upward. The frequency of that, when we add it together now, frequency of 3, we have 9, plus that of 1, that of 4 rather, that's 1, that of 4, that's 1, making 10 there now, then plus that of 5, that's 12 now, making 22, plus that of 6, that's 7, making 29, plus that of 7, which is 5 here now, that gives us 34. Then plus that of 10, plus that of 8, which is 10 here, and that gives us 44. That means the number of students that scored at least 3, that is 3 and above, are 44 students. Option C here is correct. Then question number 45, it says, if log 3 base A equals to M and log 5 base A equals to P, find log 75 base A. In this question here now, we express log 75 now in form of log 3 and log 5. And we can write log 75 again as log 25 times 3. So we can split log 75 into log 25 times 3, and when you follow the law of logarithm, we can separate this as well, and we have log 5 square, because 25 is 5 square, then plus log 3, that's in base A here in this case. And there is a law in logarithm that this power 2 here can come down to the back of the log, and we now have 2 log 5 base A plus log 3 base A. And from there now we can see that we have already expressed log 75 in form of log 5 and 3. So, and our log 5 is given as P, and our log 3 is given as M. So we now have here as 2 times P, that's 2P. We now have it as equals to 2P, because log 5 is P plus log 3, that's M. So that's 2P plus M, and also can be written as M plus 2P. The correct option in this case is option C. Now question number 46. Say in the diagram MNR are points on the circle O. Angle ORN is 48 degrees and angle RNM is 124 degrees. Find angle OMN. Now we want to find angle OMN. First, we need to identify which angle is angle OMN. Angle OMN. That's what we are finding now. We are finding angle OMN. That means tracing from O, passing through M and going to N. So angle between that, we have angle ONM as this angle marked here. That's angle ONM. Then to find that angle now, look for the first thing we can get from there, making use of what is given. The 124 degrees there, we can use it to get this angle at the center. That is when you follow theorem 1, that this angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. And when we multiply 124 now by 2, because angle at the center is bigger than angle at the circumference. So this angle at the center here will now give us 248. So we have 248 at the center here. And also we can get the other angle by saying angle at a point. Angle at a point is 360 degrees. And when you subtract 248 from 360 degrees, that angle there will give us 112 degrees. So this angle is 112 degrees. This angle there is 112 degrees inside. Then we now have that shape OMNR as a quadrilateral. Is a four-sided shape. And any four-sided shape must add up to 360 degrees. So by the time we add it and subtract from 360 degrees, add 124, that means angle we are finding, which is angle OMN, will now be equal to 360 degrees minus 284 degrees. So by the time we subtract that, the correct option will be 76 degrees, which is our option A from here. Then question 47 says simplify. This is a short question here. We have to simplify 3 root 12 plus 10 root 3 minus 6 over root 3. Now we first express 12, simpler sort. And we can write 12 as 4 times 3. And root 4 is 2. So 2 will come out. That will now be 2 times 3, that's 6. That will be 6 root 3 for this one. Then plus 10 root 3 is already in a simpler form. Then minus 6 over root 3. And here now, this 6 over root 3 here now, we can, do something to that. It is called rationalizing. So when we rationalize 6 over root 3, we now have 6 over root 3 times root 3 over root 3. So what we have done here is called rationalizing the denominator. Then this one will now become 6 root 3 over 3, because root 3 times root 3, that's 3. And 3 can go in 6, that's 2. So we can now write it as 2 root 3. So we can replace the 6 over root 3 here now. We can replace it with 2 root 3. And that will become, so our expression then becomes 6 root 3 plus 10 root 3 minus 2 root 3. So we now have 6. We have the expression written again as 6 root 3 plus 10 root 3 then minus 2 root 3. We have it again that way. Then we now say that the final answer now, because we have root 3, root 3, root 3, we call them similar sort. Just like we have like terms, we can also add and subtract. So 6 plus 10, that's 16. Then 16 minus 2, there, that's 14. So this one will now give us 14 root 3, which is, the final answer there. And the correct option here is option A. So question 48 says, the truth set of 8 plus 2x minus x squared is equal to 0 is P, Q. Evaluate P plus Q. Now, this question is just solving a quadratic equation. But we can first rearrange what is given. And when we rearrange it here now, by writing x squared first, we have x squared. Then write x, that is minus 2x now. We are multiplying through by minus. So then minus 8 equals to 0. Because we have minus in front of x squared. So when I multiply it by minus will go there. Then we have minus 2x minus 8. So the factors of this now, factors of minus 8x squared, that will give us minus 2. So what are the factors of minus 8? That when we add it together, will give us minus 2. And that will be minus 4x and plus 2x. Here when we multiply minus 4 times 2, that will be minus 8. And when we add minus 4 plus 2, that will be minus 2. So, and therefore, the final answer will now be, the root will now be plus 4. Just change the sign in front of the numbers. We have plus 4, then this one will now be minus 2. So we can then copy as plus 4. And plus, in this case now, we turn to minus. So Q then equals to minus 2. So these are the roots of the equation. And then the question now says find P plus Q. Evaluate P plus Q. So P plus Q simply means 4 plus minus 2, which is still 4 minus 2. 4 plus minus 2, which will still be 4 minus 2. And 4 minus 2 is definitely 2, which is correct option C there. Then we have question 49. Find the gradient of the line passing through the point. Gradient is changing where we're changing here. So when we write the formula for gradient, you have gradient or slope is given as y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. This is the formula for gradient here. And the point given to us, which is half, comma, minus 1 over 3. We have half, comma, minus 1 over 3. So that's a point. And also we have 3, comma, 2 over 3. We should know which one is y2, which one is y1. And we should know which one is x2, which one is x1. So in this case, so the first point given here is x1, comma, y1. And the second point given is x2, comma, y2. Therefore, our y2 from there is 2 over 3. So we now have y2. So slope will now be equals to 2 over 3. That's y2 minus y1. That's minus. And the y1 is minus 1 over 3. That's minus 1 over 3. That's plus 1 over 3 there. Then divided by x2 minus x1. And our x2 is 3. That's 3 minus the x1. And x1 is 1 over 2. And from there now, we then simplify this one now. When we simplify this, what this one becomes here, up, we have 3 over 3. That's 2 plus 1. Because LCM is 3. So we have 3 over 3. That's 1. So we can simply write everything up as 1. That's 1 divided by, and what is done? LCM there is 2. And this is over 1. 1 into 2, that's 2 times 3, that's 6. 6 minus 1 now, that's 5. So we now have 1 over 5 over 2. And when you write this one again, 1 over 5 over 2 simply means 1 divided by 5 over 2. And which is same thing as 1 times 2 over 5. And which you can simply say this is 2 over 5. And the correct option from here is option D, number 49 is option D. Then question 50 say, for what value of x is x squared plus 2 over 10x squared minus 13x squared minus 3 is undefined. Is undefined. So that's question 50 there. Question 50 here. For what value of x is x squared plus 2 over 10x squared minus 13x minus 3 is undefined. Now, when an expression is undefined, what it means is that the denominator is 0. Assuming we have, let's use this, assuming you have x over y. This, fraction now will be undefined only when y is equal to 0. That is, you dividing anything by 0. We can term that as an undefined expression. You can't say 2 over 0 now. 2 over 0, even if you press this one in your calculator, you just see math error. But we call this one undefined. Anything divided by 0 in mathematics is actually known as an undefined expression. And what the question is now saying is that for what value of that we make that expression undefined, value of x. That means our denominator has to be 0. Our denominator in this case is now 10x squared minus 13x minus 3. 10x squared minus 13x minus 3 will be equal to 0. 10x squared minus 13x minus 3 will be equal to 0. For that expression to be undefined, the denominator has to be 0. Now, we solve this particular quadratic equation here now to get the value of x that will satisfy that. And when you look into that now, multiplying the first and the last term here, that gives us minus 30x squared. So what are the factors of minus 30 that adding it together will give us minus 13? Adding it together will give us minus 13. And when we look into that, splitting this one so that in the middle here now, addition of the factor will give us the number in the middle. And that will be minus 15x plus 2x. Because when we multiply minus 15 and plus 2, we get minus 30. And when we add it, we get minus 13. So replacing what is the middle now, we can't conclude the final answer here. Why? Because x squared here is having coefficient. And whenever x squared is having coefficient, we can't conclude the answer like that. We can just slot it in, factorize. So we have 10x squared now. This becomes 10x squared minus 15x now. We are replacing the middle number now with these two numbers. Then plus 2x. Then we have minus 3 will then be equal to 0. So that's how to factorize. Then when you group this one too, you factor what is common. What is common between these two now? You factor it out. 10 and 15, 5 is common. So 5 is common, then x is also common. 5x out here. Then what remains here is 2x. Then minus, what is remaining here? That's just 3. Then what is common between 2x, then minus 3? That's, just 1. That's plus 1 here. Then into bracket 2x minus 3 which is equals to 0. So everything equals 0. So by the time we solve further now, we can see from here that the two brackets are something, the same thing is inside the bracket. So we just write one of it as 2x minus 3, then times 5x plus 1, and that equals 0. This 5x, then this plus 1 together now. Then we have two numbers multiplying, and the result is 0. Is either one of them is 0, but we don't know which one is 0. So we can say that let 2x minus 3 equal to 0, or we can say 5x plus 1 will be equals to 0. So solving each of this now, here we can take minus 3 to the other side, become plus 3. So that will be 2x equals to 3, or take plus 1 to that side, become minus 1, or 5x equals to minus 1. And from here now, finding x, divide both sides by 2. That means x equals to 3 over 2, or divide both sides by 5. Here, in this case, that's x equals to minus 1 over 5. And when you look at the option from here, the correct option is option C, 3 over 2, comma, minus 1 over 5, from question number 50. Option C is our correct option. Option C is our correct option. 3 over 2, comma, minus 1 over 5. Thank you for watching. And also, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, subscribe and also turn the notification bell on to receive notification when we upload. We say thank you and bye for now.